Back with another quick review for you. This time I'm going to be looking at the K&F Concept shoulder bag. This was sent in via the company for review. I did measure this myself, so I've put those measurements on the screen for you so you can have a look. As with all bags, there's a bit of variation due to the fact material does stretch, so use that as an approximate guide. We'll take a tour of the bag now. We have Velcro pads on either side which helps keep the front flap shut. Underneath that there is another storage compartment with a zipper on, so you can just pull that across and you have two compartments. They're fairly large, they'd be quite useful for say things like batteries, chargers, memory card wallets, things like that. Even a charging cable would probably fit in there. On the flap there is another compartment there, so again we've quite a bit of storage on this bag for things that you might want to carry, cables, leads, batteries, extras, and they seem to have put quite a lot on this, perhaps a bit more than some bags that I've looked at. And that includes on the back you have a carry handle there, and then you just pull the zipper across and we've got another storage compartment there too, so shouldn't be short on storage with this bag. Shoulder strap on this is sewn into the bag, and you do have an adjuster on there with a plastic buckle, and they've also put the tabs on the end of the zippers, just makes it a bit easier to get to. Stitching looks pretty good. It is over stitched on the nylon, and on the underside that is plastic coated, so it shouldn't absorb moisture. The inner compartment on this is removable, so I'll take that out. The back of the bag you have padded section, and it is really thick padding on the back there. That's for a tablet or possibly phones or any other devices you want to put there. There is a holder on the side with an elasticated top and mesh. You could use that for a water bottle or possibly other items you could just put in there, and those are the handles on the internal compartment. Again, I've put the sizes on the screen for you just to give you an idea. Obviously it's slightly smaller than the exterior of the bag measurements. We do have the double zip on this, and it's padded all the way around. The bottom part on this is reinforced in the middle with plastic, and you have two foam layers on the outside, so it's quite thick at the bottom, so you shouldn't have any problems with potential damage putting the bag down. Here's your mesh top panel, so you can see through it, and it's reinforced in areas. Because of the seam on the inside of the zip, it means it's fully protected once you zip it up, so there's no potential metal contact on items inside. What I'll do now is just do a few items I'm putting in. That's ultra wide angle lens, so it's quite a wide diameter, 77mm, a mid-sized DSLR or small to mid, and that easily fits in, and have a small prime lens. If you've got a kit like this, you'll be able to fit quite a lot into the bag because it is quite tall. There's a 28 to 100mm standard lens going in, plenty of space there for items like that. I did try other lenses. That's a telephoto lens, a budget telephoto, 75 to 300. Also means you'll be able to fit items like a full-size flash into the bag without any problems, and it just about fits in, just about tall enough to take that. Even managed to fit a camera with a grip on into the bag. You wouldn't get much on the front of it, perhaps a short prime, but it does go in there, so it's fairly good on the size. Even my full frame camera with a short telephoto lens, that fit into the bag without any problems. A lot of this is going to depend on the type of gear that you're using. For example, if you've got one of those mirrorless systems such as the Micro Four Thirds, you'll be able to fit a lot of stuff into the bag. I'll show you with my compact camera here. I mean, that just easily fits in with tons of space. If you don't want that mesh cover over the front, you can just fold it back. I might have gone with a padded top cover myself. That's maybe a design preference. And then once you put the flap over, the zip at the top is quite a nice feature because that means you can just pull it across and you have access to the items that are inside without having to open the bag up. It's quite easy to get to the main compartment. You do have to juggle around a little bit to get to the side ones, but that also means that stuff is less likely to fall out if the bag has the zip open and it topples over. The Velcro pads do seem to be pretty strong. I was worried whether or not they'd be strong enough to hold the front flap, and they seem to be fine. Comparison with my mid-size backpack and a single camera case on the right. Compared to the Caden one that I reviewed a few years ago and have been using for quite a while, this one is wider but thinner, about the same height, and I think overall it works a bit better, the design and shape, particularly the fact that it's easy access to get to with the Velcro. I did soak the bag just to see how it fared with the water resistance. You can see the water does run off the nylon, but obviously it's going to start to seep into the zips because they're not waterproof, so that is something to look out for. If you're in a light shower, it won't be a problem, but in heavy rain it will be. This is a waterproof zip on my Tamrac bag, which was a fairly expensive backpack. You can see the plastic coating and it seals up when you close it. Even with that, it is possible to get water in there. Compare it to a standard zip on this bag and also a standard zip on the other Tamrac case that I have there. With that in mind, it would have been nice to have had a waterproof cover included in the bag. They could have put it in the back section. Even if it put the price up a small amount, it would have been worth it. Also, with this flap at the front, I would have reversed that and had it facing down, just less chance of water getting in. Leaving to one side those points that I might have changed in the design, I do quite like this bag. It offers good value, it's very comfortable to wear, and it does offer a decent amount of protection for your camera gear.